We're particularly far behind on services. However, the services negotiations provide many new opportunities for the United States as well as the EU, India, and others. And I hope that the concept of clustering will help drive us there by focusing on issues that are related. By pushing services negotiations further along, we create more incentives for other countries to be more ambitious in the agricultural and non-agricultural negotiations. I don't see how the round can really come together unless the dynamic changes, and services may be a key way to achieve that. I mentioned China a minute ago, and I want to be perfectly clear on 3 points. One, the RMB is undervalued, and China must do more to bring it into alignment. But it is only one of many problems China must address. Second, the legislation drafted to date, and again, there's maybe a change out there, but what we've seen so far will do more harm than good and risks undermining our efforts to address China's other protectionist policies and likely runs afoul of our WTO commitments. Instead of bringing intense multilateral pressure to bear against China, which is what the testimony in our hearing was, and that's really a more viable approach. And I think it's also one that the administration supports, if you can find a statement on that. But in fact, 8 former United States trade representatives and commerce secretaries from both parties recently wrote Congress to emphasize each of these points. And third, the failure of China to address its protectionist policies puts our economic relationship at risk, the breakdown of which could wreak havoc on both countries and on the global economy. For example, indigenous innovation, that policy provides a huge leg up to Chinese companies by requiring U.S. companies to hand over sensitive intellectual property to China if they want to participate in government procurement. The bottom line is that China seems intent on giving homegrown products a distinct advantage over products made by American workers. This is a subsidy, plain and simple, and we need to deal with it directly. Furthermore, China's intellectual property rights regime and enforcement are still woefully inadequate. The massive levels of piracy cannot continue. This theft costs us billions of dollars and thousands of American jobs. China's repeated promises to fix this are ringing more and more hollow by the day. And this situation has really only grown worse. In the services area, USTR's recent case concerning China's discrimination against U.S. electronic payment companies is yet another example of China's creation of a state-owned monopoly, a national champion in violation of our rights. The list of China's protectionist policies goes on and on and on. And we must make it clear that we will not sit idly by and let it engage in these discriminatory trade practices. Our response should include aggressive pursuit of WTO violations, as well as resuscitating the bilateral investment treaty negotiations begun with China several years ago. An agreement like that would give Americans considerably more rights in China and a dispute resolution mechanism with real teeth to protect U.S. jobs. China has 70 bilateral investment treaties in place, so 70 countries have greater rights in China than we do. And that is simply unacceptable. Clearly, the work ahead of us on trade won't be easy, but the rewards for the services sector and the workers you employ will be more than worth it. And while I meant it when I said I was here to help, I also mean it when I say I need your help. And collectively, we must do a better job of accurately informing the American people about the benefits of free flow of goods and services between the U.S. and countries around the world. I need all of you talking to your peers, to your workers in your companies and communities where you have operations, and where the direct benefit of engaging and succeeding in the global marketplace, as well as the importance of the service sector in creating jobs, is realized. And let me be clear, the business community can't afford to sit by and watch trade issues get demagogued on the campaign trail. You just can't rise above the fray on this one. And I ask each of you to look outward beyond the Beltway at the way some candidates are using trade issues in their campaigns in the fall to stoke fear in the public. And I urge you not to let those go unanswered. The essential fact is, if you lose the political fight district by district and state by state in the 50 states, you'll never win the policy fights in Washington. And I'm confident that if we work together, employers, workers, Republicans, Democrats, the administration and Congress, we can demonstrate to the American people the value of trade, and we can generate the support needed to increase exports, open up new markets for our critical services industries, and create jobs in the U.S. in the meantime. So thank you very much for having me here today. I look forward to answering any questions you have. Thanks a lot.